Minnesota. I'm your host, Alan Tracy.
And I'm Rahana Power.
And today we have another edition of the Fan Film Adventures.
We have a couple people joining us.
Yeah, just a few this time.
Yeah, just a handful, which is really exciting. You know what? Let's jump in. If everyone wants to introduce yourself and just let us know what's coming up. What plugs do you have?
Everyone, all at once.
Yeah.
Also say what roles you played in Kyber Run.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
Callan. Yeah.
I'm Callan Corpy. I played Thana in Kyber Run, and this is my second time getting to work with Alan on a short film, so it was a lot of fun.
Do you have anything coming up?
What's coming up? I've been working with well, when we were getting ready for this film, a bunch of us were getting together and workshopping fights, and it kind of turned into a group called the Fight Monkeys. So we have a little stunt collective here in Minnesota now, and we've been preparing for a film this summer called Orion 21. So that's been our big thing. So we've been training military formations, along with there's some sword play and that sort of stuff going on in there too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Fun. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any films coming up also?
I personally don't have any films coming up. I've been crushing my day career. So, actually, Z-Fest is coming up. So I was in a short film called April 14th, and Ebony, who is also here today, was in that as well. It was directed by Krista Gullickson. It was her first directorial debut, her and Bronson. What's Bronson's last name? I want to say Talcott. I was going to say Talbot, so I was really close, but not there at all. So Bronson Talbot. Talcott. They wrote it together. And Ebony was in it. I was in it. There were 4 other people, and it was 6 people sitting around the table and dealing with a contagion that's broken out. So all these different heads of state. We've got a doctor, a scientist. We've got a politician, a journalist, war general, and I was the socialite. And so it's a lot of really fast-paced dialogue and tense moments, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be showing on April 27th at St. Michael's Cinema. It's probably sold out, but you might be able to find some friends that have an extra ticket or two. And we're the 5 o'clock block.
Okay, nice.
Fabulous. Ebony.
Yeah.
What about you?
Hello, my name is Ebony, and I play Anand in Kyber Run, who had a very epic, awesome run scene where she gets to flee through the wooded tunnels with the quintessential element in her hand to help save things. And I loved being that character. I thought she was awesome and got to do a lot of things that I haven't done in film before because of it. So excited to see the full film when it comes out. What I am doing now is a feature film in Duluth. There's another feature film that I'm a part of. Super excited, leaving on Sunday this week and to be out there for about a week doing filming, and looking forward to that. And then, as Callan said, absolutely looking forward to the April 14th film that's going to be showing on the 27th. I'm going to try to drive from Duluth to see it in its sold out show, and then hopefully not have to wake up at the crack of dawn the next morning to drive back to Duluth. But I'm just so determined and excited to see the April 14 movie. It was such a well done film, and again, Krista Rose and Bronson Talcott both. Thanks, Callan, for going ahead of that. Both Krista and Bronson are phenomenal people, and their skill and just writing and executing that has just been phenomenal. And it is Krista's directorial debut, and she's also a phenomenal person. So I'm just excited, so excited for that as well.
I'm
And
so
as we-
confused. It's like April 14th, that already happened. And then it's like,
April
oh,
27th. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Great,
I
great.
missed it.
I've explained that so
But
many
also-
times already. Actually, April 14th on April 27th.
Yeah,
Wait, wait.
yeah, exactly. Just
We
happened
missed
to land
it.
in April.
It's Groundhog's Day. It's just every day in between them.
Exactly.
All right, Holly. There.
Oh, funny. Do you want to try that again, Holly?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. So I'm Holly. I played Senan, a bad guy in this film. It was super fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, since then, I've actually been going more production design. And so I was co-director on April 14th, and I am a production designer on Orion 21 that Callan was talking about. I've done, I believe, probably 18 films this year. Yeah.
Wow. Wait,
Yeah.
2024? 18 films?
23 included.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, no, not this
Year
year.
to
Yeah.
date.
Not
Okay,
okay,
not.
year to date.
Okay.
Yep. So around the time that
Or
we were
year
filming.
to year, my bad. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So around the time we were filming was about, when I started really doing production design. So yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's a lot.
12 to 18
Yeah.
films, whether a few before, but then it's been really fun. It's been great. So
Great.
yeah,
wow.
production design seems to be where I'm going. So I haven't really done any acting. I've mostly done directing, producing, and production design since.
She
So,
does it
Good.
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Holly, I'm so sorry I left you
No
out. I can't even
worries.
remember people's names. So.
No worries. It's all good. It's all good.
It's like, is
Callan.
that a new name? her alter ego?
Yes. So yeah,
Something like
that's about it.
Holly, Jolly, Christmas.
All right,
Yes.
Nick. You've worked on April 14th, is that it?
No, I actually didn't work on April 14th. I wish I would have, though, because it looked like an awesome film to work on.
Yeah.
My name's Nick. I played Callan, who actually is a Jedi character that I created a long time ago in short story form. So it was great to actually bring him to life for once, and actually get to play him as an individual. And it was kind of cool when Lee said he wanted me to play Callan, which is also the name of my production company. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
And we talked about the character, like he wanted to know about the character. So he actually kind of molded my fighting style kind of after what I kind of talked to him about. So that was kind of fun. I wish I would have been in more fights, but I had back surgery during a lot of the training. So I kind of had to limit what I could do, but I still got to be a part of it. My first film with Alan. And it was a lot of fun. Even though it was blazing hot on a lot of days. But it was an experience, and I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so it was perfect for me. And I've, it was cool. Beyond that, I'm a local filmmaker as well. Made a couple short films myself this year. Coming up for Z Fest, I'm in two films, sort of. One of them is called Choices. No, not Choices. Yeah, it is called Choices. And it's I got to play an abusive husband, which I thought was an interesting role. It sounds horrible, but at the same time, I've never got to play like that kind of role. So that'll be at Z Fest on the 27th, and I'm also in Tuesday and Stone. Yeah, Stone and Tuesday.
Tuesday and Stone.
Tuesday and Stone. Thank you. And I was the tactical advisor for that. Kind of my first time stepping into that role.
Nice.
And that was and I was in it for like 30 seconds as just a random bad guy, which was fine. I get, bad guy. And then
we had a lot of that in Kyber.
Right. So beyond that, coming up, like Callan was saying, I'm also part of the Fight Monkeys, part of the Orion 21 project.
Oh.
I'm doing a lot of the tactical training portion of it, being the instructor for that, because that's kind of my specialty. So that's coming up. My podcast, Best Threesome Ever, is going strong. We just had Nikki on there, who's also on here. She'll be on the next episode.
Oh, nice.
Which is a lot of fun. And that'll come out, well, probably before this episode airs. So it's already out there. So find us on all the podcast places. What else is coming up? Yeah, it's about it, I think, film wise. So yeah, we'll see. I do a lot of stuff film wise. So yeah, we'll see what comes up. And I'm kind of stepping away from my theater side, and getting into more film. So it's been fun, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
Nice.
Fabulous. And Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki Nomer. I keeping up with the forgetting names thing. I play two characters and I can't remember the names because my memory just doesn't work like that. So Alan, if you can remind me of my really cool Twilight character names, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played two Twilight. Oh, no.
One
Go
is
to-
Ty. No, I have it right here.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Sora,
Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them, and Samara. was
Thank
the
you.
other. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
kind of like a yin and yang, I think, is where like my brain was trying to remember that because that's how I remembered it before, but didn't do me much good today. Um,
Right.
so
You had other things to do.
yeah. Coming up, I don't have anything film related, but I have a couple conventions I'm going to. I'm a cosplayer. My passion is costuming. So as far as like filmmaking goes, it's kind of the direction I'm hoping to get into. And yeah, so I cosplay, I do costumes, and next thing coming up is C2E2. So I have my lovely Shin Hati cosplay behind me, and that's gonna come with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, Koala Bear cosplay. So if you like costumes, that's what I do. That's who I am.
I love cosplayers.
Me
And your
too.
costumes on Kyber Run were absolutely amazing. Like,
I
you
was
transformed.
I was super happy with the well, both of them, honestly. Yeah, no, I learned a lot from it, and that was really exciting.
Yeah, definitely added to production value also.
Mm-hmm.
Just put us in that world, Okay, so we'll start with our first question, and then if we tangent, so be it. Rahana.
Every
Just do that
single
pause
time.
to
Yeah.
look over there.
Literally every time.
So what are your favorite memory or memories from set? Yeah, so Callan.
For me, my favorite memories from set, I have been doing stage combat forever. Behind me, I've got like a world of certificates from like skills proficiency tests. Like it's been my world for a long time, but it's not something I usually do on uneven terrain, right? It's usually like in a gym or on a stage,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So to get to take that to the woods and like you don't know where you're going to be stepping, you really have to adjust on the fly. And with film, you're going 110%, whereas with theater you're probably going 75, right, to slow down and let people's eye follow. But when it's the camera, you really have to speed it up. So finally getting to put my fight skills on film from a sword fighting standpoint was just like unbelievable. And I got to fight so many talented people. I got to fight Nick, who's on here today, Joe and Mike Bloom. Like it was just amazing and such a gift. So that was easily the highlight of this whole experience for me.
Your intensity was amazing to watch. Like there was one, I was behind the camera one time and I was watching, it was like you just, your expressions and everything just amazed me.
I really enjoyed getting into that character. One, because she was bad and it feels good to be bad. But also because I got to channel a little bit of one of my favorite sci-fi characters. I'm a big Farscape fan. And so I've always really loved Chiana. And so I tried to embody a little bit of the way she moves in a slinky way. And, some of her freaky little expressions that she does. And so it was really fun getting to bring that character aspect to the fighting as well.
Nice. I haven't seen that, so I'll have to look for that then.
It's a great story.
Nice. All right, Ebony.
For me, one of my favorite memories on set was actually just kind of doing different things that I had ever done in film. I had never done very like high activity in film. And it was also my first time doing any type of fight scene. So getting the opportunity to learn fight choreography, to do choreography, fight choreography on film, and then also just seeing how production worked and dealing with like movement, and especially with that, I know Alan, you and I had to like walk down that long path and then like practice running to see how my run would line up with the camera and everything. All of those aspects, I haven't had a chance to do that on the film since yet, and I really, really enjoy it. So I love that introduction into that and the opportunity to gain experience in it. That was my absolute favorite part.
Yeah, I really had to run with you.
You're
backwards, not like
yeah, I was gonna
no.
say, yeah.
That was
You're doing a great job.
yeah. So we picked a place that was like as evenly possible to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a gimbal helps.
And it was all those logistical things are also just fun to see and learn about too, as an actor, to kind of get that little inside background look into those epic shots that you get when you actually see them on film. So I loved being a part of that.
Yeah, and the way we shot it, it was like such a high frame rate, in order to make you go very slow in picture, because it was like, is she moving? No. Of course she's moving. Go as fast as you can. That was the key to that, what we were doing. But then,
Right.
yeah. All right, Holly.
So, yeah, I had a really fun time because that was also my first fight film as well, fight choreography. So I learned a lot as well. I really enjoyed it as well. My favorite memory that really stands out is during that rainstorm and just the go-karts and just zooming down and singing songs. It was ridiculous. I don't know, it's one of my favorite moments there. So but yeah, and I love just hanging out with everybody and chatting and getting to know everyone. So that was also really fun. Hearing everyone's stories, where they're coming from, where they want to go. So yeah.
Right. Oh, that rainstorm. Oh my goodness.
Word, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I was so worried we wouldn't, well, obviously we didn't that day, but like, how are we going to recover this day? It's just kind of like, and then I'm like, okay, everyone who's here in the big scene, we need to get that in so we don't have like, a lot of people back the same days or another day, whatever.
Oh man.
Yep. It worked out though.
We were able to
we found a way.
Yep. We did. Yep.
Added a day to production, but
yeah.
It wasn't Star Trek 3 at least, so fire on set or something, so
yeah.
And Nick.
That was my turn? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rainstorm was a good one. I'm glad I got some of that on video.
Yes.
Of us chasing.
Send me those videos too. Yeah.
Oh, I will. And this was probably my first time fighting on set. And it was absolutely amazing. And I got to fight Lee, who we've been in a few films together, never got to fight each other. So it was cool that we got a moment to fight each other. And I love being on sets because I've been a part of a lot of films, and I love being on sets because not only do you meet a whole cast of incredibly talented people, which I'm glad I've met everybody because they're incredibly talented, and now getting to see them in more projects is great. But I like to see other directors and how they work, because I feel as a filmmaker myself, you learn, right? You learn from everything. You go, oh, there's a cool little trick. Oh, I like how he did that. Or, oh, I see how they got that shot. So for me, it was a big learning process, as well as just having fun on set. And My other favorite memory was probably, it was very, very warm, but my fight with Callan and just how many times we had to shoot that. And um Callan just had these I was trying, like, she just had this just great evil expression on her face where it was like, oh, you are really a Sith person. And being able to play Callan the snarky way that I have envisioned him was kind of fun. And yeah, it was that. And I got to be an audio guy for a day, which I've done audio in the theater but never held a boom and operated the electronics, and I got to do that for a day, so that was fun. But yeah, I think there's so many great memories, but those are probably easily the top, is the learning, meeting new incredibly talented people, and having fun with your friends, so thanks for that, Alan.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so much talent on this set.
And he never worked sound again. No.
Probably true. I'm like, I can't even use any of that audio.
No, yeah, I think your scene with Callan was, yeah, it was one of those days where things just went longer than expected. Rahana talked about it in the last one on our hike to the first setup.
Yeah.
And everyone here was there that day 2. In Burnsville. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
When Alan kept saying, yeah, it's just around the corner right there. And then we'd get around the corner and he'd be like, no, it's just over the hill. Like, you're a liar.
Liar,
That day.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad some people had staggered starts. So no one, well, a few people here, but anyways, okay, Nikki.
Favorite memory from set. So basically the day I was blue, I just remember a lot of fun things happening that day. The one that really sticks out is like having to run to the gas station and going in with like my liqueur off my head, and I'm wearing this bald cap and I'm painted blue, and this kid like starts crying. That's not like a good memory, but like it's my favorite. I know it's terrible, but like just the reactions. Well, it's not even about the kid. It's about the Karens who are like looking at me like this. So just the expression of like, what am I walking into? That made my day. And
I
then
hope their kid grows up to be as cool as you.
Exactly. I was like trying to make. I was like, oh, it's just paint. And the mom was really cool and like talking to the kid. So the reaction the mom had and the way she was calming the kid down, that was memorable. But yeah, and then just like the conversations we had on the wrap up day, like with Holli and Cam and Callan. Yeah, there were some really fun conversations, and it was just nice to talk to people who had different experiences within film and just different backgrounds, and it was just a nice time. So
yeah. Do you remember the kids that saw us filming where we were over by Kevin's house, and they were like, they're filming a Star Wars movie, and it's like 3 or 4 kids came running down. They wanted to take pictures with the lightsabers, and yeah, that was fun too.
That was really cool.
That's so cute. Oh. All right. So I'm curious, you all had really unique and exciting characters, and some people played more than one character. What was like your favorite thing about getting to play that character or those characters? Callan.
Well, I feel like I already kind of answered this question in part with getting to channel a sci-fi favorite. But the other thing I really enjoyed about playing my character was getting to create the makeup design for it. Because I had some particularly evil makeup going on. And, it was kind of a last minute thing with that makeup design. And I think it turned out really well because I like kind of referenced other Pinterest ideas, and I just pulled from a lot of different areas, and I put something together like the night before, and it was okay. It was good, but it needed something extra. And the next day, like I added to it, and it was it. And like, fortunately, I had some stage makeup experience from my brief stint at Columbia College Chicago, like 6-7 years ago. So I've got some experience doing that kind of makeup, and I really enjoy doing it. So to really define my character and watch the makeup transform me, and then having to go places in public wearing that afterwards, like it's weird going to the dog park in that makeup. But the dog's got to get let out, right? So
I mean, yeah. Uh, I agree with both you and Nikki. We're going in public wearing any type of like makeup that's really distinct can be really fun. Like I feel I've touched on this in a different episode that'll come out way later. And I think a few other people have, like if you're in like a horror movie and you're like a zombie or you die and then you like go to the gas station or you go home and it's an apartment and there's 20 people looking at you like, oh my God, are you okay? Like it's the funniest thing. So you're just like, what's up? It's the best. So especially with like that kind of exciting, like in-depth makeup. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Do what you got to do, Sither.
All
I love
right.
that post of you and Anna with both of you in your Sith outfits.
yeah.
Sither,
Sither,
Sither.
Sither.
Yeah, I love that caption. It was so good.
Yeah. So good. All right, Ebony, what about you?
Similar to Callan, I think I did answer this in my first question and say just the epic run scene that you got to do, things of that nature. But I would say what else I liked about Anand was the hope she personified. And I don't want to give away too much of the film, but I just really think that her character personified hope. And the aspect of what she was doing and kind of why she was running, but then also in her fight scene with Samara, which again, it was really cool to fight against someone that was in all white makeup and have that fun experience. Nikki with all the paint and putting all of the paint on because Nikki was like already a warrior and pushing through all of that paint. I was super impressed.
And thank you for the help on that, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, again, it was fun. It was like, what? I have never done this the costume level. Like,
Yeah,
so it was a lot of fun.
You get there, you see Nikki before, like, oh, okay, I'm fighting her, okay, and then you see her in her makeup, full everything, and just like, wait a minute,
and it became like epic, right? Exactly, it's so true. And then because of how like powerful that costuming was, and like the force that Samara represented, that made Anand's hopefulness and the hope that she was embodying stand out even more and be an even sharper contrast. So I loved kind of carrying that essence element in the film with this character.
Yeah, nice.
Love that. Holly.
I liked being like an emperor. I like empire type personality. Like I felt my uniform kind of like stood out. I kind of appreciated that. I just really liked being a bad guy. I thought it was pretty fun. And I remember giving what was it? Musgrave. Yeah, Musgrave's like giving him the stink eye and just kind of like, you know, like staring him down. I don't know. That was a fun moment for me for
Oh
my
my
character.
God, the outtake from that scene. Oh my God.
Oh my word.
It was
I remember
funny.
just laughing. Oh my
Yeah.
word. That
Holly,
was great.
was this your first time playing a bad guy?
No, I played a bad guy in my own film actually.
Oh.
The
Last year.
same outfit.
Same outfit. Yeah.
She never
And-
changes.
Yeah, and my other film was kind of like Star Wars as well, in a way. So
Same
yeah,
people.
I just
If
transferred
it's
to a
broke,
different
don't
universe.
fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my favorite fight was probably with Zan, Doug's character. I
Oh,
there's
what a
some really
scene.
fancy moves. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Even on like the uneven ground and stuff
Yeah. I wasn't
yeah.
expecting that either. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
was
I
like,
liked
I
it. I
guess
liked the
this is the
element.
best place to do it, but I was
Yeah.
imagining it like when I first saw that area, it wasn't like as vegetated as it was, and it was
Mhm.
just kind of like,
Yeah,
well, I guess this is it. There's no,
yeah,
the grass
Yep.
is fully grown here, so
yeah, yeah. I think that was my favorite fight scene. I felt the coolest for that fight scene. So But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to share. I enjoyed it a lot.
You just reminded me that I got to fight Doug too, but I almost forgot
Oh,
because
yeah.
his face was all wrapped up.
Yes. Oh yes. Yes.
And you got to fight one of the coolest people ever, who's an actual like trained like samurai person, with Chica.
Yes. Yeah, I fought Chica. Yeah, too.
was
I really
super
I
jealous.
enjoyed that. Yeah. Yeah, I
Mm.
really enjoyed that scene too. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was sweet to fight her.
You had some great evil faces. I just remember because you're always so cheery, and you just had this like stern,
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
Such a contrast.
Right,
Such a
and
contrast.
it was so like, I'm like, gosh, evil. Evil. Look at that face.
I enjoyed that alter ego. That's definitely not me. And I really enjoyed being a bad person. It's fun.
All right. How about you, Nick?
I think much like everybody else, I kind of explained it, but really, you write a character, that I wrote. I was in college when I started writing about this before, around when episode 1 and 2 came out. My buddy and I, my buddy Austin, who's also a big Star Wars fan, who I've known since high school, we kind of created these characters, and like, when we were young, before they actually had lightsabers, we went to like the hardware store, and we're buying what the guy probably thought were bomb parts, but you're buying all these pipe parts to make lightsabers, which I still have. And so really kind of finding and actually being that character, and really exploring not only who he is and what he's done with his life, but what he did after the Clone Wars and after Order 66. And because the character he's actually a being that lives for a long time. They lived about 300 years old, so he's been around for a while. And now incorporating a fighting style and working with Lee to incorporate that fighting style with that character, and really kind of exploring that and dual wielding lightsabers. It was fun, and showing his kind of like, he's not a guy that you really want to mess with, but and he knows what he's doing, and he's the guy you want to be a Jedi. And so kind of really exploring that character a little bit more and getting in depth, it helps. I might go back and rewrite some of the stories that I wrote before, just because of that, because I never really pictured him as a dual wielder before. And also reinventing his outfit, because the original outfit was very traditional, except for the fact he wears a black robe because he doesn't like the traditions of wearing a brown robe, although it's forced to at times. So changing his outfit a little bit with, and exploring that, was a lot more, for me, just, that nerd, the inner child in me just being like, you get to play a Jedi, and a Jedi that you created. My inner child was screaming.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He's a lot like Qui-Gon Jinn. He doesn't like all the rules of the Jedi Order. So
when you said he is forced to, I'm thinking of like a youngling Kyle Wynn, like being told you have to wear the brown robe.
I think originally he did wear a brown robe, but when he became a Jedi Knight, when he finally got the knighthood, he was like, "Screw this brown robe! I'm wearing a black one, because that's what I want to wear. Not because I'm evil, but because it's just who he is." And then, at formal occasions, his buddy, whose name is the Jedi character is Arath, is his name. He'd be like, "Dude, would you just wear the brown robe for sake? Just wear the brown robe." And he'd be, fine, put it on. And I lucked out. So I went to episode 2 when it originally aired in costume with my buddy Austin and my friend Kristen, who has got more talent in her pinky nail than I could ever imagine. She's an amazing scenic designer, an amazing seamstress, and she actually made a lot of the Jedi stuff that I have. So she made me the black robe, and then when she was kind of, moving on to college and stuff, she's like, "Do you want this brown one?" I was like, "Hey, it's the one he hates wearing. Sure, I'll take it." So it was just a childhood fantasy coming alive, and really exploring the depths of the character that I created. Was probably the favorite thing about playing the character, is just being the character and seeing what he would really do in a real situation, and getting to see him on film now. Now you can be like, "Oh, that's Callan. Okay, got it. He looks a lot like Nick." Yes, he does.
Imagine that.
That's so sweet. All right, Nikki, what about you?
So my two characters, polar opposites, because one's a Jedi, one's a Sith, and it was kind of fun to, first of all, get to experiment with different character presentations because I have very minimal acting experience. So uh, it was fun to just come into it and explore both sides of myself, I guess. I do have an affinity toward evil characters though, so it was really fun to play the Sith. Um, so yeah, just playing someone who's just a little bit kind of unhinged. That was very fun for me. Um, and just trying to, I don't know. It was just the whole experience was fun all around. So it's kind of hard to just put a pin on it, I guess.
Oh, that's
Right.
understandable. So I love that you did two. I was only there for the one day when you were, and I don't know which character, the uh, bad, the Sith character,
Samara.
The Sith,
Blue, yeah, Smart, which was outstanding. I was so impressed. I couldn't stop like looking at all. I was like, oh my gosh, you did this all yourself. So I'm not familiar with the costume of your other character, but did you have a favorite of like which one, like the costume and the makeup aspect of it?
The Sith one definitely had a lot more work to it.
Mhm.
Because the Jedi one, I just took pieces. I'm planning on making Aayla Secura, so I took the head wrap that I'm going to use for Aayla Secura, and I was like, great, this works. It's obviously for a Jedi, so that was easy. The Sith design was like built from the ground up of like this is what I want, and I had a very specific vision of what I wanted to do that would make it safer for uneven ground, and still have that kind of oh gosh, her name escapes me now. Asajj, kind of an Asajj feel to it. So very Sith, kind of slinky, dark look.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that one was just a lot of fun to make.
It looked like it. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the clever,
duality.
yeah, the really fun thing about it too is like the Laku that I was wearing are my Harley Quinn Laku, so I had to come up with clever ways to like hide all the tattoos and the pink and blue on it because
Yeah.
the Laku are not pure white. I had to spray paint that, or well, body paint my rubber Laku to match my character. That was fun too.
Right. Yeah, there were some shots where it slipped a bit, and I remember Lee had to like scooch those up or whatever.
Yeah.
And he felt uncomfortable
What
doing
was he
that.
calling out? There was a phrase he was calling out. I think it was like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it was basically like nip check, but for Laku. And
Yeah, something
he
like
called
that.
them. Oh wait, we talked about it on the best threesome ever that they're called boob
Nick.
wangs.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So my Laku are called boob wangs now.
Boob wangs.
Yep.
That's
It's a
what Lee
technical.
was
It's a
calling
technical
it. Yep.
term.
Technical term.
Yeah.
Yep.
He felt very uncomfortable touching those, yeah. All right. So, Rahan and I will go off camera and mic for a moment. Don't panic, but do yourself a favor and stay off mute for well, unless Ebony, I know you're in kind of a loud area, but all right.
We can't hear it. Go ahead. You're good.
So, what I'm about to share here before I go off, there are two things I'll share with you guys here, so you'll see in just a moment.
That looks like Nick. Beautiful.
So stoic.
Heck yes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love it.
That's
That's excellent. Wow, good job.
That was
Great
fun.
job.
Ebony, I loved how your character was so like you were talking about, but it was just she embodied like the Jedi stoicness of
Yeah.
like you were saying, like the hope, and it was really, really cool to see that, like, and like just enraptured and everybody did great. And but it was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it like a Jedi stoicness that was just
Yes.
mwah.
Yeah,
And
it's like that
You
they
had-
get it done and it's gonna happen. Period.
yeah, yep. And
Yeah,
it,
you had gravitas.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes. You can
Yeah.
feel it.
you definitely can. And like from a huge Star Wars nerd, it was great to see on film.
Woo, excellent.
I feel there's another thing coming.
Holly,
Fun.
killing with the eyes, Holly. What is going on? They were dead. As soon as you looked at them, they were
Evil.
dead.
Oh, that's
That was
awesome.
intense, Hall. That was great.
Thanks.
That
Oh man,
was beautiful.
that was fun.
So those are representations of what will be coming soon. Hopefully something we can all share.
Cool.
All right. So
Everybody's favorite slow melodic piano playing of the Jedi theme at the first one. That was great.
yeah, we'll see. We're working on the comparable to that music, so
Yeah, the mouse
stay
might
tuned.
mouse might get mad.
Eh. Okay, so our next question for everyone: what was the most unexpected thing to happen on set? And Callan.
I'm ready for this one.
Okay.
Okay. So me and Nick were fighting and we were losing daylight fast, right? That day got super long and we do this thing and I'm walking off feeling like a badass, spinning my lightsaber quarterstaff, right? Doing spins and stuff with it. And I like finished doing this really awesome move and I trip and I fall flat on my face
Yes.
in the dark up a hill.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. It was on camera.
Oh no!
Oh, at least I look like a badass first, but that was cut real short.
Ow.
I hate that he said he caught it on camera because, like, I guarantee that means he's putting it on a blooper reel.
That's okay. You can use the
Oh,
cool
for
part
sure.
before first, and then
Yeah.
also show the blooper later.
Yeah,
Double
the
win
home
right
video
there.
DVD extras. So
Well, we can send it to America's funniest home videos.
I related to that. I related to the scene with in Endgame where Scarlet Witch was doing all this cool stuff, and then she trips
Oh,
and
yeah.
falls. And she's like, "Oh God!" And then everybody's like, "Are you okay?" So you're not the only one. So other cool ladies have tripped doing badass stuff.
there you go. All right, Ebony.
I would say for me, it was the quality of the characters. Like everyone came 100%. That every costume, like all of you guys talking on here, everyone else, like no one half did their characters. Like everyone's character was fully developed and strong and it literally was like walking on to what you would expect for a film set regarding Star Wars. And I was surprised by that because, people could have not done that. As a fan film, they could have kind of approached it a little bit more with not as dedicated and committed an approach. And that was not the case across the board. And of course, we can all call out Nikki's costume because again, that was a ton of dedication and commitment, like, and helping her, like seeing how much she was putting into all of that costuming and all of the makeup and putting everything on. But again, every single person I looked at, it was inspiring. As soon as I saw everyone on set and we were just all interacting and I saw how everyone was set for their characters, I was like, oh, of course I gotta deliver my character because no one else is coming short in their character. So my character has to be strong too. So I was absolutely impressed by that and absolutely loved it because it helped set and create the world and just let you just dive right in.
Yeah. And yeah, all the costuming. I remember Holly, we had a lot of discussions about that, and with I think it was Kevin, Lee, of course, and
Nikki helped a
obviously
lot too.
Bronson. Yep, Nikki, yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Holly,
My turn.
what was the most unexpected for you
Well,
moment?
kind of already said the rainstorm was probably the most unexpected for sure. Yeah, and the quick sunset that came up pretty darn fast with us with that night scene. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what that scene was about, but and then also I think another unexpected moment was when we were on that dock and we were set to film in a specific area and we discovered it was taken up.
Oh yes.
Yep, it was already occupied, and so we had to figure out what are we gonna do now? Where are we gonna go? We figured it out, but just kind of had to sit around for a bit and
Yeah.
problem solve. What are we gonna do now?
It was yeah, that was rough because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this will match up perfectly with what we're doing, and then
Yes.
nope, we got people on the bridge doing other
Yep.
things.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, but no. Anyway, that's all that I can remember at this point. But yeah.
Nice. All right, Nick.
Most unexpected thing. Being able in my fight scenes that I had, being able to hold my own and look good fighting people who have actual stage combat experience. And it was because I was a little nervous about it because I'm like, I haven't wielded a sword in years, and I'm up against these people who do stage combat, that have these certifications that do all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. So for me, it was just being able to like do that and making it look good and me not looking like I'm an idiot with a lightsaber. Like I'm gonna
That's my job. I do that.
dodge, parry, dodge, like it, I always equate a lot of things to dance. Being a former dancer, but you can always tell the people that are counting the steps in their head when you're watching like a dance, right? And then the good dancers are the ones that aren't counting the steps, that are like into the character and into all that. So I felt I was able to be that dancer that's not counting the steps in his head, and having great fight partners help you achieve that. I felt a lot better after I filmed it. And so that was unexpected for me. I thought I was just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna look horrible because we're always our worst critics. And I didn't feel that walking off set or when we were done filming. So it was a good unexpected thing.
Okay, the real question. What type of dance is Nick up to here?
I did all sorts. I did jazz, I did ballet, I did modern, I did African, and with a very phenomenal African teacher by the name of Morris Johnson, and he's local. And I did a lot of musical theater, so musical theater dance, and swing.
Wow.
Which was your favorite?
I did hip hop too. I had a few that were different. We did a Bohemian Rhapsody that was a lot of fun because we really kind of spiced up the comedy of it, the sparse of it. Probably the swing dancing was my favorite because I had a very awesome dance partner who was she's been on Broadway before, dancer, and so to dance with somebody that at the time was already great, and to know they went on to this. So the swing was probably the funnest.
I love that. Awesome. All right, Nikki, what about you?
it was all unexpected because I've been on a film set one time before this. So everything was a new experience. I got to be a PA for one of the days, so learning how hard that really is was a lot. I got to assist with like costuming one of the days, like just fixing costumes, helping people move a little more quickly and stuff, and you know, uh, so that was pre-planned, but also like learning as I went, So yeah, all of it was unexpected. It was great.
Yeah, pardon my French, PAs get shit done. So you guys, everyone who worked crew or helped, everyone helped, I think, but to just keep that train moving, basically. So the bullet train, Rahana.
The bullet train.
That's
This
pretty
is
much what
definitely
this
the
was.
bullet train.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm obsessed with that movie. It's the only reason he says that. Okay. Another question, final question. And this one I'm kind of curious. So aside from your own characters, because I feel like everybody, of course you would want this, but if one other character in the film were to have a spin-off film, who do you think it should be and why? Callan.
So one of the hardest parts about that question is I didn't get to see a lot of what was happening with the rest of the film, right? So I got to see what was happening like directly adjacent, but the script came late and it got changed a bunch. So I'm, there's a lot of this movie's gonna be such a surprise to me. Like I knew my character and I knew who I was working with, and I knew a bunch of like the fight language that we come up with because we worked on choreography for months and months and months in advance.
Big runway. Yep. Leading up
Yeah,
to this.
and so I mean,
That's
I
a good
do,
point. So
I
just
do.
out of the people that you, the characters that you saw or worked with.
I mean, given what Nick has said about how he's already like fleshed out this character, tooth and nail, like that's who I would want to see if I can't vote for myself. But the fact that my character went up against Nick's character, there's got to be some backstory there.
Yeah, some backstory. Although I didn't know who you were. Remember?
I get it. Back surgery.
Ah.
I see what you did there.
Fabulous. All right, Ebony, what about you?
Again, I feel similar to Callan. I'm not just trying to piggyback off of all of your responses, Callan. Just
April 14th.
You're just bringing up good points, and
you
so
can piggyback surgery as much as you need to.
I also only know the characters adjacent to me on film on the days I was filming. So again, I liked my character in Samara. I think we had a real like a history thing going on. Like, not this time. Why do I have to say not this time to Samara? Why is she taunting me? But that aside, if I had to choose a different character, I would say just from just kind of seeing the little clips that Alan has shown us, I'm curious about Holli's character because she's really intense and she was quite angry and just looked like she was ready to cut throat as the bad guy. So I want to know
Why?
what's going on there.
What's wrong?
I am intrigued as to the backstory of this. And obviously she's a formidable foe. Her characters are formidable foe. So I'm interested in finding out about that. So I would say just kind of from the little clips I've seen, I'd be interested in learning more about that character's backstory.
Nice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Holly, you got a stare on you for sure.
Thank you.
So I would agree.
I think Lee did call that out, like
yes.
the angry mom look or something.
Yes.
It works in multiple ways. Multiple
Yes,
ways.
it does. It does.
All right. So what's Ebony chose you. What is your thought?
Honestly, probably Nikki's character, the bad one, Samara. I was probably most intrigued by that. Like, I don't know. It just I maybe because she was otherworldly too. I like, she had these like cracks, black cracks. Like, how did that happen? What's going on there? She looks really bad.
Yeah.
Don't want to mess with her. So I don't know. I think her, just the makeup job was most intriguing to me, and to discover the background of that. So that's my 2 cents.
Like it. Nick, how about you?
Well, I can't say me. I actually, in thinking about this film and when it takes place, I would actually want to see all of the Jedi's backstories, what they were, because Order 66 was a big thing, and then for those who know the Jedi lore, Vader literally spent the rest of his time just hunting Jedi, like just massacring them. And like that's what he did. That's all he did, really. He hunted Jedi, and sent out his acolytes and his people to also hunt them down. And so to have this many Jedi that survived Order 66, or presumably survived, because they would all be of age that they were probably part of it or somewhere near somewhere. I would love to see what they did to hide. I know what my character did, and where he was during Order 66, but I want to know where everybody else was. I want to know where they were hiding. Did we hide together? Did we know each other were hiding? I would assume in some fashion we probably did. But on the other hand, if you're hiding, you don't want people to know that you're a Jedi. So that's what intrigues me the most. And not to say that it's not unlikely, except if you ask Star Wars fans, because they're the worst fans in the world. Because they're like, nobody should have heard and survived Order 66. Shut up. The Star Wars fan base is the most toxic fan base around. One of them.
Well, wait a minute. League is right up there. So
it is. It's one of. That's why I corrected myself and said one of the most toxic fan base. But I because here's a funny story, and I'm going to tangent for a second. So when I was a kid, when Yoda says to Luke that last of the Jedi you will be, to me, Jedi was plural in that sentence as a kid. So I always thought, oh, there's more of them. They're just not out and about. Obviously not understanding the backstory until much later, until somebody was like, no. When I was older, when somebody said no, he just meant like, you're the last Jedi, like last of the Mohicans, right? But so for a long time from like the first time I saw this and when I was a kid, just thinking, oh, there probably a smattering of Jedi out there. There has to be, right? Luke can't be the last one, right? Because it should be called The Last Jedi then. Disney. But so for me, there were always other Jedi. And so, but I just want to know like what their story was. Were they hiding? Were they doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing? Were they just, cutting up, fish, space fish on, Tatooine or whatever, so that's who I'd want the backstory, a Tales of the Other Jedi.
Yeah.
I really like that. Absolutely.
But you kind of hit it on the nail on the head there, because it's like Obi-Wan survived and he's like the most wanted Jedi and he's the most well known, and it's just kind of like, of course others could survive because they're looking for him, right? And they couldn't find him. So
and he wasn't supposedly was not the only Jedi on Tatooine if you read the old non-canon books and whatnot, but and he also has a very recognizable face. So the fact that nobody was like, it's not, I compare it to the Superman, oh, he's got glasses on. He's not Superman.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
He didn't have his hair combed perfectly.
It is comical. So
clearly he's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ooby Dooby Kenobi.
Old Ben. That's
Old Ben. But nobody's called him Old Ben yet. Nobody mentioned it in the Obi-Wan show.
It was only when Luke did, really. So.
Right. Well, and it was like Ben Kenobi, and it's like, if you really Ben Kenobi, oh, he couldn't be Obi-Wan Kenobi. No.
just like the Superman thing.
George, that's George Lucas at its finest right there. So yeah, I agree. yeah, what did they do? Where did they go? What were they doing?
There's so many more stories there to be told.
A lot.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I love about Star Wars, is that there are so many stories and it doesn't feel episodic like Star Trek. And I love Star Trek too, but I feel it becomes very episodic. And Star Wars to me is that there's so many stories to tell.
Yeah, like watching Ahsoka, just amazing.
Oh, and I got to meet Ashley Eckerson.
Nice.
And I got her autograph on the Friday night of the convention when nobody
that
was
line
around.
never went down.
On Friday night there was nobody there. I talked to her for a good 45 minutes.
Oh,
and it was awesome.
Okay.
But we talked a lot about Ahsoka, and like probably one of the best Star Wars character development stories ever.
I'm jealous. Dang.
And
okay.
Anyways, I'll stop babbling. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. So I get it. All right, Nikki.
I'm sorry, I can't choose one. So I really loved Callan's character, the way she played her character, and I really want to see more of that. And I feel like a really good combo story would be Holli and Lee's character. I frankly don't know if they even interacted or not, but I just want to see more of either of them, whether it's a storyline happening at the same time or when they actually clash or anything. But the two of them, I really liked their characters, and kind of like the yin and yang that Ebony was talking about. I feel like those two have the exact level, like the same level, and I just want to see that.
Alan, I don't know if you wrote this in the story, if people wrote it into their characters, but were the Sith characters, were they which happened to a lot of Sith acolytes in the Star Wars universe, they were once Jedi. So were any of them Jedi prior to this? Or is that a character choice for them?
I didn't quite write it. I with any intention in mind, other than what everyone was going to bring on those days. I was more concerned about the reason for all the script updates that Callan, I think, alluded to, was the fact that we weren't always sure week to week who was going to show up when and where. So it was just kind of like, okay,
Right.
is this working? Because availability says you're there, so okay. And then, it was kind of a week to week thing, just like in football or something. You just got to get your roster ready for the next day, the next week, and hopefully it works out first. But so production was first in mind, and then second came yes, definitely the characters that would clash with who they're fighting with. So yeah, a lot of those were definitely Nikki and Ebony's characters were pre-planned. All the kind of major arcing storylines were there, like Holli and Lee, yeah. So, and Devel. All right, so we're wrapping things up. Any last comments or thoughts or any conjurings that come to mind about Kyber Run before we go? We will serpentine and go in reverse order. Nikki?
When is it coming? I want to know.
2 to 5 years.
Oh, great, good.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's been on my mind. I'm like, I want to share things with people, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm allowed to share from set, and so I'm like, I want to share photos, and so I'm like anxious so I could start dropping behind the scenes stuff to ramp it up, and I'm just like, we've got such fun photos. There's so much cool stuff, and I'm terrible at I'm bad at remembering things, but I'm also bad at remembering what I can't say. So I don't know what's a spoiler and what I can say or not. So
you can drop things as long as
nothing on Holly.
Yeah, that's it's a very good question. So you can put anything that was not in scene, if it were on base camp or training, anything out of context is fine. So getting when you're getting stuff put together, any pictures of that's fine. Anything behind the scenes is pretty much okay. It's just not anything that was like on set, like characters in set, so not to spoil the plot, basically. So yeah, you're free to do that.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the finished product. I know that you and I, Alan, one night were watching a very rough cut of it, and
Yep.
in
the Discord.
In the Discord, right? And I think I said to you, I go, I feel like it's a big hallway fight scene with lightsabers, which wasn't a bad thing. It was a very good thing. There's a lot of fight scenes, and I don't envy your editing that you have to ahead of you.
No, woof.
But everybody, like, there were like moments that were just so great that you captured, and like I forget her name. Like, she was coming down and you did this great pan out and that running scene and seeing all the different characters together and fighting. So I'm excited just to see the final product. And hopefully, make us Kyber run too, right?
Yeah, Alan.
Alan
Yeah,
might
when's
need
the
an
sequel
editing
coming
crew.
out? It's like, can we get the first one done first? I mean,
I expect you to
and-
be writing the second one while you're editing, and then when you
Yes.
release the first one, then you're filming the second one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Exactly.
you know how impatient
It's
people
all
get
for
with
charity,
sequels.
everyone. That's just obviously Kyber
Well-
runs fall off trees,
You have a whole gambit of characters you can make movies about now, whether it be a prequel, a sequel.
This
offshoot
time we will
storyline.
have
Back.
2 characters, not 20.
By the time this
Oh.
film comes out, it'll be a Kyber crawl.
But I was happy that, Lee did put it together the way he assisted in creating kind of the plot a bit more, developing that out, obviously based on the fights that we could pull off. And I think it became more epic than I thought it would be, because I was like, okay, like 8 people at most. And
So
then,
many people showed up.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is great, because originally during training it was kind of like maybe 3 or 4 sometimes. Holly, you were kind of there for most of those, and or at least I remember seeing you, because I wasn't
Yep.
there all the time, but
Yeah, almost all.
yeah. And yeah, obviously people had to learn new skills to do that, so, and I just allowed Lee the time to do that, so yeah. But I like that it was as epic as it was, because it's like, when do you get a chance to do that again? Because that's why I didn't really fight it, because I was like, even though this is going to be rough and tough to schedule, to figure out like locations, food, everything, it's just like, okay, well, that will be hard to pull off, but it's worth a shot if it's going to work. Hopefully it works. So, yeah.
Well, only if you had that $1 million budget.
Yeah. So
Okay,
this will be
come
our
on.
calling card to like actually make a series with. So this is the pilot, really. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Kyber Run, the pilot.
Yeah.
Coming out April 14th.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, I can't say this, but we did get an email from Lucasfilm. We are okay to obviously make our fan film. We already did that, but just obviously putting not affiliated with Disney or Lucasfilm, all that. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Which
huge.
is awesome. Yeah.
mhm.
I mean,
So cool.
sorry. I'm glad that they do that, because I would hate for that they would go after all these people for enjoying something that has meant so much to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are certain obviously boundaries, like
Yeah.
no commercial, no what else was it? Oh, the music. So that's why we have to develop our own music around it, unless we have permission for copywritten music, because that's kind of the biggest thing that like YouTube goes after and stuff like that. So, all right, Holly.
I don't really have anything new to say, like just repeating, when are we going to do the next one? But but I won't even say that.
She casually
I
mentions,
just did.
I'm not going to talk about
Not
that.
gonna talk about that. Oh man. But I guess my question is, yeah, how's the music coming? How's the composition? Have you found anybody? Have you started composing or anything?
Yeah, I'm working with my composer Oni Sakti.
Cool.
He's been on
Cool.
the podcast before. Um, so yeah, I sent him the comps I showed you guys here, and it was like something like this, something like that, and then working up themes for each kind of character or group, I guess.
Cool.
So that way, if you've ever heard like Mad Max or something, you know what Furiosa's theme is, or um, whatever, whoever's in the moment, like when we're following certain characters or major character arcs throughout the film. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Ebony.
I don't have anything strong to say outside of kind of what everyone else has been saying, that I'm so excited to see it. Even just seeing the little trailer clips that you've already shown, and like, they're so phenomenal. When you guys put them out there, please just let us know, because I would be so thrilled and excited to show that, because I think even just the trailer clips look phenomenal. So that says a lot. It says a lot. And yeah, I think it was an absolute enjoyment to just be a part of this, and to be able to experience again that choreography, that fight, and then also the strength of the characters. So I just enjoyed it.
I did too. It was just such a fun, even just like the little moments when like we were like doing, I remember when I first met you, Ebony, was like doing the earlies for this, was costumes at Kevin's place, and
Oh yeah.
like just a little get together to try to figure out what are you gonna wear,
Right. Yes, I remember.
and you found your costume. It was just kind of like, oh, here it is,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even in that like initial meeting, and I know that was just one of several, like you said, that long runway that you guys had in prepping for this. But people's excitement and enjoyment and just like passion then was already contagious. So
Nerds.
And
is
proud
that a
of it.
way? It was a enjoyable contagion. It was good. It was good.
Nice. Callan, any
All
last
right.
comments, thoughts?
I sure do. I'm going to practice for my Oscar speech.
All right.
I would like to thank Alan for bringing us all together and getting this project started, and for all the work that he has to do on his own in the background as a one-man editing team. I don't know how you're going to get through it all, but I appreciate you so much. Lee, for bringing us all together in the training center of his apartment building that we all meet in, and giving us this opportunity to practice with like-minded people, create our own choreography, really have ownership of what we were doing. And what's following from that. Holli, it's been so much fun watching you learn to kick arrows with a sword. Like,
thank you.
From where you started to where you are now, like,
Thank you.
you have progressed so much, and I would love to fight you any day.
Thank you, friend. Ditto.
Ebony, I think this was the first project we've worked on together, and this was like a little spark. So then getting to work with you on April 14th was just really amazing, getting to see how much acting chops you have, and like even seeing that little clip of this, and really how much I don't even know. I used gravitas before, so I'm going to use it again. Like how much gravitas you can bring to a scene, how much strength.
Thank you, Cal.
Yes. Nick, it was really great, like bringing our vocabularies together and learning how to work together, because we have such different backgrounds.
Right.
So it was really, really wonderful getting to learn how to fight with you and to find those little moments in our fight to make sometimes weird choreography work, and to create our own,
Right.
especially for phase 2. Like you had some really great ideas.
Yeah, there were some good moments in that second fight that I think we haven't seen before, and to everybody, like to piggyback on Callan real quick, is that everybody brought something different, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then Nikki with your amazing costumes and your energy and just, bringing that extra level of production value to this, like such a blessing to have you as a part of this team. So there's so many other people that I can mention, Cam and Talon were constantly working on choreography, as well as Jacoby, Joe Sabula, Mike Bloom. We have so many talented people on this set, and it was such a joy. So, they're playing the music, so I have to go now. Back to you, Alan, and thank you, Rahana and Alan,
That's
for
great.
promoting our film.
So
They're
wrap
dragging
it
me
up.
off.
Wonderful. Yes, yes.
I have a question for the group. How many people kept their lightsabers? And Alan, how many did you buy from Lee?
Oh, the one I wanted was sold by the time it was
Boo.
someone got first dibs, but I did get
Oh, no.
one.
I think I stole it actually. I think I got it first, Helen.
Oh, I see.
I think we had this conversation. Yeah.
Did we?
Sorry.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
remember
I think it
that.
was you and I.
I think that's
possibly.
just in your mind there.
Maybe so.
Your Sith tricks, I get it.
I got
Oh.
two that formed together into a quarterstaff, even though I didn't get to use them in the fight because they have silver handles and I was a bad guy.
Ah,
Mm.
But still,
Can't
now
have
I've got
that.
combat-worthy lightsabers, so I can
Yeah.
go fight my friends in the dark anytime.
There you go. Ebony, did you keep yours?
No, I did not keep mine, so I don't have it. But I do think that it could also have ended up being a play toy for my children, in which case I would not have benefited me because it would no longer really have been mine. So
You would be getting hit with it.
Yeah.
yeah, it would be more like, put it down. No, take that outside.
No lightsaber
Peace
fighting
out.
in the house.
Yes, no lightsabers in the house.
Yeah, kind of same with me. I just left mine with Lee, so because I was like, no, same story. I don't
Yeah.
really have room to practice here either. So
they're just fun to have, though. I
They
mean,
are.
Yeah.
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 I mean, who would collect lightsabers? I don't have like 17 of them.
Kevin also has an insane collection.
His is much bigger than mine, yes.
Yeah.
Nikki, did you keep yours?
So funny story about my lightsaber. I forgot to bring it the day of filming because yes, I bought it from Lee. Yes. So the one that I ended up using was an identical one that he had as well. So yes, I did. Did it make an appearance in a film? No.
Wait, what?
Still counts.
Yeah. So I literally forgot to bring my lightsaber with on the day of filming. So I was like, Lee, I don't know what to do. And he's like, good news. Here's the same exact one. So
Nice.
he changed out the blade for me. So it was the correct length because I am short. And then I was able to still fight and, look like a Jedi and not a Sith. So that was good.
Was that day 2 or day, what was it, 5, 6?
That was Jedi
Hastings?
Day. Blue Day. Yeah. In the park. Late night.
They're all parks.
No.
Hastings or
not day
Burnsville?
2. Not day 2.
Not day 2? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and thanks for sourcing all those locations,
Yeah,
Alan.
no
Oh, May scouting was different than July actually on set days. But luckily there was also later scouting for like the day we got rain that place.
Right.
But luckily we retained it. But yeah, just a quick thank you to everyone here. You have all mentioned, you've all put a lot into doing this, and just for the love of making the film too, because this is a fan film. This is not like it's not for Z-Fest. It's not for anything really. It's just for us. It's really that's what it came down to. What it boils down to. A lot of people had busy schedules last summer, so I thank you all for contributing part of your summers to this. So it really showed up. It really has. I can tell, especially obviously you can tell who's putting the work in, and it's everyone. So thank you all for just doing that and showing up, basically. So thank you.
Thanks for writing a great film.
Yeah.
It wrote itself because, as you know, a lot of those scenes were like, and here's fight 3XJ or whatever, and there it was because you guys, worked out what needed to be done, and then we just had to place it in the right place. So, yeah.
And thank you all for coming on and chatting with us about this, like being here with us tonight. For your time. We really appreciate it. This is really fun, and I think we're all really excited for the movie to come out. We're definitely gonna have to do some sort of screening. So
Yes. Please.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Are we like all about to cry too? Is that just me?
I know.
I'm already crying. I just have a filter on, so you can't see it. That's all.
I'm not crying.
I know a guy with a movie theater, and I'm sure he would love to rent it out to us.
There we go. Awesome. Well, thank you again, everyone. This was really fun. And to all of our listeners, this has been Film in Minnesota.